Assalamualaikum and welcome to the video. My name is Fahima Jahan binti Mohamed SUHIB, matrix number 197728. Would like to talk about virus. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, a virus is an infective agent that typically consists of a nucleic acid molecule in a protein coat that is too small to be seen by light microscopy and is able to multiply only within the living cells of a host. Basically, a virus is a tiny infectious particle that can reproduce only by infecting a host cell. Viruses command the host cell and use its resources to make more viruses, basically reprogramming it to become a virus factory. Because they can't reproduce themselves without a host, viruses are not considered living. Nor do viruses have cells. They are very small, much smaller than the cells of living things, and are basically just packages of nucleic acid and protein. History. In the late 19th century, a contagious disease was identified in tobacco plants, which took the form of a mosaic of light and dark green areas on the leaves. In 1898, a Dutch scientist named Martinus Beijerinck showed that the disease could be transmitted from plant to plant by juices that had been put through a porcelain filter, so fine that it could remove bacteria. Beijerinck was convinced that this was due to a new kind of infectious agent, smaller than bacteria. He called it contagium vivum fluidum, meaning living contagious fluid. Later, he used the word virus in Latin, which means for poison. Classification. The most commonly used classification method today is called the Baltimore classification scheme, which is based on how messenger RNA is generated in each particular type of virus. Viruses can contain double-stranded DNA, single-stranded DNA, double-stranded RNA, single-stranded RNA with positive polarity, single-stranded RNA with a negative polarity, diploid, single-stranded RNA, and a partial double-stranded DNA genomes. Positive polarity means that the genomic RNA can resolve directly as messenger RNA, and a negative polarity means that their sequence is complementary to the messenger RNA. Replication. Each type of virus in the Baltimore classification scheme uses a different strategy to replicate, but generally the replication has 5 steps in total, which are assembly, entry, genome replication, and gene expression, assembly, and lastly release. Attachment. The virus recognizes and binds to a host cell via a receptor molecule on the cell surface. Entry. The virus and its genetic material enters the cell. Genome replication and gene expression. The viral genome is copied and its genes are expressed to make viral proteins. Assembly. New viral particles are assembled from the genome copies and viral proteins. Release. Completed viral particles exit the cell and can infect other cells. Transmission of virus. There are 2 main types of transmission, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal means from one host individual to another, and vertical means from parent to offspring. Most well-studied viruses are transmitted horizontally or both vertically and horizontally. Most of the viruses that make us sick are transmitted horizontally from one person to another. Most viruses of wild plants are transmitted vertically through the seed. Many viruses use an intermediate host or vector for transmission, commonly an insect such as mosquito or arachnid such as mite or tick. Plant viruses are almost always transmitted by vectors, commonly insect, but also fungi and nematodes. The role of vectors is one of the most important factors in emerging diseases, especially as viruses can acquire new vectors. Lifestyle. Viruses has an intimate relationship with their host. They are completely dependent on cells for every phase of their life cycle. Most viruses are commensal, which means that they obtain what they need from their host without causing any harm. Some viruses have a mutualist relationship with their host, providing benefits their host cannot live without while also benefiting from the host. A stable relationship between a host and a virus is one in which the virus is able to use its host cell while causing as little harm to the host as possible. Serious disease or death is a sign of a host-virus relationship still in turbulent throes of youth. Immunity. There are two types of immunity, which is innate and acquired. Every living thing has some form of innate immunity, but in the general defense mechanism it employs against an intruder. Acquired immunity is where the body remembers an infection so that it can react to it promptly should it happen again. The mechanism of innate immunity might be simple things such as barriers to stop virus getting in, the skin, the mucous membranes in the nose, the tears that cleanses the eye, and acid and digestive enzyme in the gut. When these barriers fall, more complex innate immunity is brought into play, which is the white blood cell. Most life has a system of adaptive or acquired immunity. This means that anything that enters the body later is recognized as non-self antibodies are made specifically to target such interlopers for destruction. Once the body has encountered a non-self entity, the adaptive immune system remembers it for periods of between a year and a lifetime. One of the example of plant virus is called citrus tristeza virus. The difference between this virus and the coronavirus is the citrus tristeza virus is transmitted through aphids, while corona is transmitted through the respiratory droplets. And this CTV virus affects only citrus, while coronavirus affects humans and animals, and the others are still in research. Thank you. That's all for my video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.